Hey, didn't see you there. I'm Dr. Leith, and I'm going to be the instructor for this fall 2020 semester of assessment and counseling. And I'm super excited to work with all of you. This will be the first time that I'm putting the course up asynchronously. That doesn't mean that we won't have like group office hours or something like that. And that's especially important for this course because there will be some numbers, right? But there's not going to be math, which is cool. It's really more of a can you turn ounces to pounds type situation. And we're going to go over all sorts of things: personality assessment, IQ testing, working with couples and families, right? So, the goal for this course is to give you the foundational knowledge so that way you can administer higher or advanced assessments to clients, and so that you can do clinical assessments as well. It won't all be paper and pencil assessments, right? So, that's really exciting. And I hope to instill in you like an excitement for the need to do assessment and to measure things, whether it's just to track our clients' progress through the treatment process, or if you're looking to do things like IQ testing, right? Or if you're a school counselor and you want to help with accommodations, right? Making a 504 and things like that. That's all part of assessment. So what I want to do right now is go over the syllabus and give you a brief tour of Blackboard so you can have an idea of what to expect from the semester. So here's our syllabus. It is on Blackboard. It's the very top link, and it's also in this module. Fall 2020, again, I'm Dr. Leith. I'm going to be the instructor for the course. Office hours will be by appointment. So just send me an email. My email is right here, christopher.leith@utsa.edu. And my goal is to answer emails no more than 24 hours later, right? Within 24 hours. Required text for the course by Whiston, Principles and Applications of Assessment and Counseling. Please hear me. Any edition will do. You do not need the newest edition, which I think is 9th or 10th. Any edition is fine, and it is a wonderful resource to keep for your NCE. An optional text by Lopez and Snyder is Positive Psychological Assessment, which can be found online, and I think I have some of the chapters posted throughout Blackboard as well. And this is a great resource because it's a very well-written book, focuses on strengths-based assessment, and it also contains a lot of assessments in it ready for you to go and use. We have our counseling program mission and our department mission. And then we have our standards, our school counseling standards and CACREP standards. The connection to the portfolio, which you'll do an internship and internship 2, right? Where does it apply? It's not specifically mentioned in these 8 areas, but it works well with referral and coordination, with the ability to apply counseling theory, leadership roles, and advocacy, and ethical and legal concerns, as you'll see next week. Our course objectives in line with CACREP, of course, that will go over all the different aspects of assessment, including history, ethics, reliability, validity, cultural factors, and stats methods of creating them. Lots of standards. Instructional methods. So this is a online asynchronous course. Your responsibility that I'm asking of you is to let me know how I can best serve you. I want you, I want to look you in the eyes while I say it. I want you to tell me what you need, right? I'm going to give you like the basic stuff that you need so that you can pass the NCE, that you can ethically and appropriately select instruments, administer instruments, interpret scores and give results and all that. You're going to get that. But if there's something that's confusing, not clear, that I can expand on, or if there's some topic that's not covered in the syllabus or I haven't gone to, let me know, because I would love to cover it for you. I want to make sure at the end of the semester you feel like, on top of I learned all the knowledge about assessment that I need, that I also got out of it what I wanted. So please let me know what you need, whether that be how I present the information, or if there's a topic, if there's content that you want. I'm not afraid to take that feedback and work it in as best I can. Our common syllabus information can be found at this link: disability services, code of conduct, medical issues, counseling services, etc. Fitness to practice, right? So we're always under evaluation to see if we're fit to practice counseling. So this is an online course, so our interaction is different now. The biggest concern I have with online courses is that much of the communication will be through writing. So whether it's through a discussion board, post, in a chat, in an email, anything like that, be aware of how you're coming across, making sure that you're being respectful, civil, courteous, professional, right? And if you ever have a question about, I'm not sure how to say this, just tell me that, right? I don't know how to say this, but, and then go for it, right? And I'll help you out if it's a more public thing or if you need to communicate to another instructor. And if it's to me, then I'll work one-on-one with you. But just be aware of how it comes across, right? Because we've all been in the situation where we got a text and we read it and it was like, what do you mean by that? So let's try and avoid those situations. Now, this is probably what you're most interested in. What do I got to do in this course? We got 4 quizzes, all multiple choice or true and false. You can take each quiz twice with the higher score being kept. Here are our due dates. The first one is coming up and it's going to go over the syllabus. Then we have our midterm on week 7. This midterm will cover all of the psychometric stuff that we go over, sort of all the stats type stuff, right? So it's a good mirror, I think, of the NCE. Those of you that have had me in another class will probably take this and say, whoa, this is not like his other courses. And it's because we saw a lot of people struggling with assessments. I want to make sure that you're set up for success if you go take the NCE, right? But even with that, you'll be able to take it twice with the higher score being kept. The quizzes will serve to help to test your knowledge of the midterm. If you can handle the quizzes, you can handle the midterm. And if you can handle the midterm, you can handle the NCE. And if you can handle the NCE, you can do assessment. A treatment plan paper, right? So a mock client, this can be a real person, just let them know that this is not a real assessment, or a fictional character. And what I want you to do is make an initial intake, right? Who are they? Cultural background, biopsychosocial, what would bring them in? Then the results of 3 assessments, right? And I'm going to help you find this. That's what this course is about. Knowing how to find those assessments and how to pick the best ones, the most appropriate ones. So I'm going to help you out. I don't expect you to know any of this stuff right now. And then coming up with goals for treatment. So we'll have lots of templates and examples, a rubric, all that stuff to take that pressure off. These due dates are really, the first 2 are more to make sure that I'm answering your questions and to see that you understand, and then I can give you that feedback and you can correct it, so that way at the end for the final submission, everything is going to look nice and perfect. The final is going to be all of the stuff after the midterm, so it's not cumulative, and it's going to focus much more on the clinical, practical application of it. That's the stuff that y'all are probably most excited about. The first half of the semester is going to be how did you make an instrument? How do you make a test and know if it's good or accurate? And the second half is, how do I do a suicide assessment? How do I do a personality assessment? How do I work with couples? Things like that. So that really in-depth clinical stuff. Standard grading stuff. And our calendar. You'll see that I have everything as week 1, week 2, week 3 with the dates. Today we're doing introduction, syllabus, and why do we assess. Next week we go into foundations of assessment and counselors in assessment, our role. Quiz 1 is due before that Monday, right? So 8:30. Then we're going to go into psychometrics. Week 3, 4, and 5 are going to be the most technical of the semester. Please don't be put off by that. I'm starting from a place of, let's just assume not everybody has this information. I went into grad school. I didn't have any of this information. It was all foreign to me, and I got a hold of it, right? So I know that you guys can do this. There will be numbers, and historically what happens in the class, and I'm guilty of doing this too, is when I see a bunch of numbers, I kind of shut down and kind of shy away. And if that's you, please don't. Just fight through that discomfort with me. And if something is making you uncomfortable or it's not clear, you let me know and I'll help you. Now, if you're someone who you already have a strong hold on this, don't be afraid to tell me, hey, that wasn't as clear as it could be, or to volunteer to help your peers and stuff like that. You know, let's take advantage of it. But by the end of the semester, I want for all of you to be able to know this inside and out, up and down, left and right. And you will. It's a lot of vocabulary more than anything else. Then week 6, we're going to tie it all together. That's where I'm going to cover how do you pick assessments. And that's what will inform that treatment plan paper. Week 7 is your midterm. And then when we come back, you can breathe easy. We're kind of done with all the technical stuff. And now we're getting into the more hands-on. How to do a biopsychosocial. How to do a mental status exam. Goal setting and treatment planning. Personality testing. IQ testing. Risk assessment, including suicide and homicide. Positive assessments, so strength-based, right? So it's not all pathological. What sources of support does our client have and what skills do they have that they can use? For Thanksgiving, I want you to practice self-care. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to just make a nice calendar of what you need to do to finish out the semester, but I want you to take that time, cool down, come back, and we're going to end on a high note of couples assessment, right? And then you just have your final and your paper. And here's a treatment plan template, right? And we're going to have examples. This looks very brief, and it is, but in a separate video, when we get closer to needing to do some of this stuff, I'm going to walk you through how to do all of this. And I always encourage you, send me your draft so I can give you feedback, right? It's not for a grade. You just give it to me and I can say, hey, this is great as is. You can wait till the due day, or I'll tell you, hey, can you flesh this out or take a different direction? So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear. I hope it's not intimidating. Please don't be put off by it. I'm excited for the semester. I'm excited to work with all of you. I do want to know what I can do to best serve you. So the next part of this is, let's look at Blackboard. So here we are. You can see here's our syllabus at the top, and then all the weeks with all the topics we're going to cover. Treatment plan, assignment, resources, all that stuff. I'm trying to take as much of the burden off of you as possible to make this so you can focus on learning and focus on doing those assignments, right? I don't want you wasting time trying to navigate this. And if you feel like that's what's happening, if it's messy or confusing, you let me know. So let's take, for example, how this is going to look. I set these up as learning modules. And so everything is in there that I want for you except for the actual reading for your textbook. So here's the syllabus. Then here's a video of yours truly, and the PowerPoint's attached to that video. It probably won't show on the screen, but here's the PowerPoint for you. So if there's a video, there's a PowerPoint, they're in the same module. And then if there's a quiz, it'll be attached there too. So nice and smooth. Now, this first half of the semester, let me come back. Oh, where'd my camera go? There. So this first half of the semester, what I usually do in the traditional classes when we're in a classroom is I go very slowly and I kind of take half steps, right? We're going to touch a little bit at a time, because I don't want people shutting down or moving away, not hearing the content because of this discomfort with numbers. There is a lot of technical jargon. Don't be afraid of it. I didn't know any of it either, and now I'm pretty confident with it, right? I mean, they're letting me teach the course. So don't be put off by it. Go with me on this, right? And just listen to it, practice. We're going to practice a lot until you feel like, wow, that wasn't so bad, and that's how I hope you will feel, right? So some of the modules you might feel like that's it, and that's okay, right? I don't want you to think that it's not being taken seriously or that you're not getting depth. It's that there's a method to it that I like to follow, so that way nobody feels overwhelmed, right? Now, if you need more information, you let me know, and I'm going to help you out. So I'm going to wrap up here. I've posted a discussion board. I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Tell me what you'd like to get out of the course, and I look forward to working with all of you. I hope you all are well. Please let me know how I can best help you, because you're going to be my peers one day, and I want you to do well. I want to be able to look and say, man, look at this guy on the yacht, right? I was his professor at one time, or look at her in the mansion. She's up at Champions Ridge now, right? So let me help you do that, right? Because I want to see you succeed. I don't want you to see you be put off by things like assessment, where it can kind of we get lost in our own feelings over certain terms and numbers and things like that. All right, I'm excited for this semester. I'm going to wrap up there. You guys take care, and let me know what I can do to help. All right, bye, guys.